Alright, welcome back to another video. I'm gonna try and keep this intro nice, short, and sweet. This video, as you can probably see by the thumbnail, I will be showing off DIO over Heaven. It took me forever to get him. I had to get him off pity. I would have loved to have gotten him sooner, but I can't just sit and play Anime Crusaders all day, unfortunately. I also show off Gray and Haku in this video from a little mini update before the Christmas update came out. So it'll be a 3-unit showcase. It's not 1 unit for 20 minutes, you know? But yeah, let's just get straight into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, goodness. It has been a long time coming on this. I've been playing tons, I promise you. AFK chambering whenever I go to bed, all that stuff, and it still just took so long. Obviously, I've been playing this like every minute of every day since it's dropped, because like I can't do that. It's finally gonna be done, like, what, just before the next update? This game is beginning to take a lot out of me. This stuff is a little too grindy, you know what I mean? But we'll see. So I'll play the cutscene again with audio on. I didn't want to turn it on yet. Okay. After all this time. Getting him off pity just... actually takes so long. I'll do the rest of my summons. And then I'll have to get kills on him for stats, mostly. Actually, I'll just transfer Nagamos. I already talked about that. Let me do the rest of my summons here. Alright. Alright, it's actually rare where I can do all of the stuff for a video in one go. I would have loved to have him shiny. That would have been cool. Make all that effort just to... I mean, it's worth it regardless. DIO over Heaven, I'm not gonna complain too much, but man, 80,000 pity is just horrendous. 100 extra rerolls. I'm probably not even gonna use that many. If you go on that slot, Nagamo, I just don't use him. He's not that good, and I can transfer over some really nice stats. I'm glad that it makes sure you do that. He is expensive to place. Okay. I'm also going to show off Gray and Haku, since I didn't get to show them off before. Let's roll traits on DIO first, just to make sure I land my Crusader on him. I don't know if any of those are shinies. I'm gonna scroll down. Yeah, I've been trying to fish for shinies from Halloween Part 2 and just this event, and it has not happened yet, but it has to happen eventually. Whoa. That's without Crusader? Goodness. Hopefully I remember to replay his cutscene with audio on, because nope, we're not taking that. Alright, on to these. There it is. Double trait? Nope. I haven't gotten a double trait Crusader yet, but we'll get there. Okay, now I gotta roll in the other two. I believe Haku is 4 placement, so kind of really anything on her would be good. Or him. My bad. This first mythic on both. I'm not gonna be fancy about it. I don't know if Gray and Haku are really any good. I don't think Gray is bad from what I read of his passives. He's kind of like Gyu, but I think he is quite a bit better than Gyu. Haku is just weird, in my opinion. I don't think Haku's passives... No, I don't... No. Come on. Good enough. Really just any mythic trait. I know Overdrive is probably also one worth picking, but I don't think about it in the moment. Maybe 10 of those. Yeah, I played for like 6 hours straight today. I haven't done anything else. We'll get some money, and then we'll show off the units. We'll do DIO last because, well, if I do DIO first, nobody's watching Gray or Haku. Okay. So we'll start with Haku. I realize I can't show off his passives quite properly. But it's nothing crazy. Haku's first passive. God, I was not ready to record when I started this. After Haku attacks a frozen enemy, he gains plus 3% damage up to 30% and minus 1% attack speed up to 10%. All bonuses slowly decay if there are no frozen enemies in his range. So, unlike Deaths, which specifically says frozen or time stopped, this just says frozen. So I assume time stop doesn't count. Then Ice Clone Mirage. Every 20 seconds, Haku creates an Ice Clone behind the furthest enemy in his range. The clone deals 100% of his damage, then shatters. If Gray is in Haku's range, the cooldown is lowered to 10 seconds. I don't know why that is. I get that they release together, but they don't have anything to do with each other. And so really every 20 seconds you get double damage with Haku, which is like cool. Oh, I don't have animations on, I'm a clown. But your attack kind of slow. With some ice shards, you have Shatter Peak, other ice stuff that explodes, Ice Lotus Pool. It's like ice out of the kind of like a breeze out of the ground, and then it explodes. And then Frozen Mirror Barrage. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought that was going to be. So honestly, I would say solid damage. Well, I don't know. Obviously, you've got the 30% damage you can get plus 10% cooldown, which would help that a lot. And then every 20 seconds basically does double that. It's not bad. I don't think Haku is good. Also ground only, I believe. Do that one more time. Huge AoE, though. I actually did not clock that until now. Wow. Because I've tested out both Gray and Haku just kind of get an idea of what they do. So, next let's look at Gray. So, Demon Slayer's Veins. After Gray kills an enemy, he gains 1.25% damage and minus 0.5% attack speed up to 40 kills. So, I believe 1.25, so every 2 kills would be 2.5. I think 50% damage, 20% attack speed, which is really decent. Every 24 seconds, he surrounds himself with a massive blizzard for 6 seconds that slows enemies by 55% and deals 10% of his damage every half second. And then he gains 33% damage during the blizzard. So in his first attack, then we have Ice Hammer, which is an Ice Hammer. Shocker, I know. Frostbite Arrow, much larger AoE, with the blizzard activated. And because it gives him 33% damage, not only is it doing that, 10% of his damage over 10% every half second for 24 seconds. So it's doing 480% of his damage, as well as also buffing his damage. So the blizzard does even more. He's hybrid on upgrade 6, which is very cheap, all things considered. And yeah, he just does a lot of damage. I think Gray is actually really good. Did we see Frostbite Arrow? I don't remember. The hammer, Frostbite Arrow. Yeah, okay, it's the lobbing thing that like explodes into shards. Frostblade Barrage is the larger one. I do want to see how much more does it actually cost to get to this upgrade. So I can't check it probably because I have idle. But yeah, it's roughly 20,000 to get hybrid, and I mean, with his passives, he's very solid. I'm gonna let him stack, so we'll be back in a second. I realize he's already fully stacked, so we just need to wait for the blizzard, and then we can see his full damage. There we go. Okay, so yeah, 116,000 damage every 5.5 seconds. Plus, he does the slow and. Oh no, it's every 24 seconds. He does this for 6 seconds. I'm dumb. I got it wrong. So in total, he'd do 120% of his damage in that time, on top of also being able to attack in that time frame. Crusader on him easily would be the best, just because the supply's slow and that can't like stack on itself or anything like that. Definitely a strong unit. Now for the important one, DIO. Full AoE on placement, full AoE hybrid on placement, as well as true damage. This unit is placed applies time stop to all enemies in range for 3 seconds, one time only. Beyond Heaven's attacks ignore enemy shields. Oh my goodness. Okay, rewrite reality upgrade 3. Okay. Reality isn't bent, it is overwritten. After activation, choose one of the 4 modes. Erase motion attacks by 75% slow to enemies, 2.5 seconds. I think that's 2.5. There's no way that's 25. That'd be insane. Erase thought, attacks apply stun to enemies for 2 seconds. Erase force, attacks deal plus 35% damage to enemies under control effects. Erase form, attacks inflict bleed for 4 seconds, dealing 25% of this unit's damage over time. Okay, so I don't want to use that. Then the world over heaven. Upon activation, applies time stop to all enemies on the map for 30 seconds. Beyond Heaven's cooldown gets reduced by 20% during the time stop. Instantly deals 150% of his damage to enemies below 50% health. After the time stop ends, this unit gains plus 20% damage for 270 seconds. So he basically gets a permanent 20% damage buff every time that's activated. Well, let's look at the attack. I mean, it already looks really cool. It's kind of like the Kurumi time stop thing. He poses, and then, yeah, it just does 50k damage. Hey, I'm going to turn audio on now, because I have a feeling... Well, I need to go... Where do I need to go? I need to go here. 10, go in here. I'm so sorry, that's probably so loud. Oh my god. You know what, you won't hear that on your end. It'll just be for me. I'm deaf now. Okay. Time dash. Oh my god, he does. Stupid amount of damage. Okay, so he does like... Let's watch. It's like a burst of attacks, and then he does the big time stop thing again. Time barrage. Which, well, that's what you would think it would be. Wow, yeah, true damage. So he's not affected by element like the typing down. Which one would I want? I mean, slow would be good. Because stun would get in the way of time stops. You wouldn't want that. 25% bleed is very insignificant. So I don't think I'd bother with that either. I guess maybe if you run him with other control effect units, but I don't know if I would bother. I'd say probably just go with erase motion. Because yeah, it's a 75% slow. It's the highest in the game. I think that's easily the one you go for. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me get close to him so we can hear the audio. Oh yeah, he just says the voice lines. Very cool. Now for the world over heaven. But that was probably a music. No, actually it wouldn't have been. That would make sense. It might have been a radial thing. I need to be closer to him when he used it. I don't like... Because it's in this kind of menu, you can't set the time stop to auto. I kind of don't like that. I hope they change that. I have no problem with the modes being in here. I don't think this needs to be. Very cool unit. I mean, he's so strong. Because yeah, the fact that he gives himself a 20% damage buff once he's used that basically permanently is Oh yeah, and he reduces his cooldown by 20% during that time as well. Yeah, he's crazy. Genuinely, because of how strong his stats are, I would genuinely consider running... I keep saying the word genuinely. Why do I keep doing that? I would consider using him with Lelouch. Not even for the nuke, just because buffing his stats, you're going to get huge numbers out of that. Matter of fact... there like a restart game button? No. Okay, so I'll have to back out and... Let me get like a maximum buff team set up and we'll see DIO at his peak. Okay. So I can almost push him to 1,000,000 damage. But I actually, matter of fact, I think... Okay. Alright, for he only gains damage after the fact. He's got the 20% cooldown reduction, which, I mean, just makes him ridiculous. As 30 seconds pass, he should gain his 20% damage boost and should break the 1,000,000 damage threshold, which I think would easily make him the best unit of the game. Obviously, if you actually are willing to run him with a unit that applies, yeah, 1.17 million. I think he's the first unit that hits that. Maybe Gilgamesh. I tried to find another unit that could apply buffs, and there are a couple that apply damage buffs, but they're temporary, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. It just made more sense to go with the true, like, just like he's always going to be at this level. You could realistically take the bleed because you're getting 250,000 damage in bleed roughly. If you're willing to run him with, you know, somebody like Kurami or Gyu, you could do a race force and you'd get 35% extra damage on pretty much every enemy that comes through. I don't think you ever take the stun, truthfully. Erase form, I guess the 20% bleed is actually more viable, I think, just because of how much damage he has. But I would personally just take the slow. It gives him some utility on top of the monstrous damage he does. And at the same time, like, you can get other utility from other people. My voice is going on me a little bit. I don't think I've drank water in a while. I mean, yeah, that is... Oh, cosmetics. And I gotta show the DIO cutscene again before I forget. I don't think these videos out before they do them, and maybe I should, so they're like better formatted, but I kind of just like doing them, you know, without thinking. So DIO cosmetic, which maybe I'll rock. I don't know. I do like it, but you know, I got shiny Egress. I feel like this has been like my day one cosmetic. Got gray, which is a pose and an outfit. I don't think anything going on underneath. Doesn't look like it. Haku did have one. I did not realize that. Oh, it's another pose. And the aura. I said outfit, but I meant aura. I don't know how I feel. Like, the unit's cool. I think the unit design and everything's great, but you've already got a unit that's pushing 1,000,000 damage. Like, I understand that's with Crusader, but still. Alucard and Akaza and Rengoku don't come anywhere near that. And they're the other two Crusader units. Like, Akaza and Rengoku, like, straight up is a unit I would say do not go for. There's no point. And both of these units are limited. Which is, this being limited is crazy. I don't know how they justified it. That's going to be a really, like, when he's either everything else is going to get pushed up to DIO's level, so everything before him is going to be terrible, or they're going to, it's just like, if you didn't get DIO, you're just out of luck. I don't know what their plan is on that. I do think they've made a mistake in just how powerful they've made him. And honestly, if the game keeps being as grindy as it has been, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with it. Because, like, it is just... With one of my plans for the main channel, well, New Year's resolution, really, it's not just a plan. It's kind of more than that. To do, like, 3 uploads a week, which that's not going to start until, like, next week. So once it hits Saturday, the week after is where I'm going to start trying to put that into motion. It's not going to be immediate. You'll probably get like 1 next week. It'll take time to get basically the machine rolling in that direction, but I am going to try really hard to do that for the main channel content. So if you're interested in stuff that isn't Roblox, you know, go check that out. It should be linked in the description, or if it's not, you can go to the channel page and it should be linked somewhere in there. But yeah, I don't know if I'm able to keep up with this game at this rate. It's like, if I macroed, I probably could. I don't think it'd be a problem at all, honestly. I don't want to. It's like one of my principles where it's like, if I enjoy a game, I want to play it and do the grinding myself. If it gets to the point where I don't want to do the grinding myself, it's not something I enjoy anymore. And so it's not worth playing. So we'll see what next update holds. I'm pretty confident it's a raid. I had to guess, but it could be something else. I did not hate the last raids they released. I did not think the fate, they were time consuming. That's really my one gripe with a lot of the stuff in this game, is that it's just really, really time consuming. It's not difficult. Any day, I will take difficulty over time. Like that's like a big thing. I still haven't checked out the Universal Tower Defense update because I've been grinding this out so hard. It's the 2nd of January, so you know, we're already into the new year and I haven't even checked that out yet. I'll probably do so after this recording. But yeah. If you enjoyed the video, you know, feel free to please leave a like, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure to check out the main channel, as I previously mentioned. I have a Twitch link, but I talked about on my New Year's stream how I probably won't be streaming that much, if really at all. I'm not going to go into detail about that. It's more just like, I don't think streaming is something on the table for me right now, and I just want to focus on what I can do. And there's a Discord if you want to join it. There's not a whole lot going on in there, I'll be honest. It's just there. It's like, hey, you want to build, you know, join the community or whatever, feel free. But yeah, that's all for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.